Where the hell have I been? That's a good question. Let's just say that real life intrudes on uh, things that you want to do sometimes and gets in the way, and also that depression can be a deep, dark hole that sometimes it's hard to claw your way out of. But I won't wax poetic on any of that stuff. Let's just say that I wish that I could have been doing videos, but I just haven't been up to doing it. But one thing I've decided to do for the new year, for my New Year's resolution, is lifting some weights. And by doing that, I mean lifting Omnibus edition of comic books and getting some of those read that I've had sitting around that I need to get to. Uh, the ones I've started with are the JSA, Justice Society of America. There's 3 volumes that are like at least 1,200 pages apiece. I spent most of January reading these, and I love them. I thought they were fantastic. I originally got, when they started these back up in like 1999, I was still collecting comic books at the time, and I got all the original one-shots and some of the first issues, and I really liked it, but I was in college and I had to cut back, and so it just kind of fell by the wayside. But I'm actually kind of glad it did, because I got to read them all for the first time, well, some of them for the first time, right now all together as one long story. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The stories are by Jeff Johns and David Goyer, and later Goyer leaves and Jeff Johns does them, but this guy can write a comic book story. If you want something that's about a super team with superheroes, you can't do better than the JSA. They're my favorite superhero team. I love the legacy from the 1940s to today, where you have the original Flash and the original Green Lantern, and then you have the new versions of like Hourman and Starman and Stargirl. You've got the original Wildcat. Uh, it's just really, really good. They have the artists in it are amazing. They've got Steven Sadowski, Michael Baer, Carlos Pacheco, Darwin Cook, Tim Sale, Howard Chaykin, Eduardo Rizzo, Eduardo Barreto, Aaron Lopresti, Chris Weston, Russ Heath. I mean, when they do, uh, they have excellent regular artists like Steven Sadowski, but when they have a fill-in, they'll have somebody like Sean Phillips or Jerry Ordway. I mean, they just absolutely have a fantastic set of artists doing this book, all 3 of these books. And they had originally like 7 number ones, Adventure Comics and All Star Comics and All American Comics, and all the ones that they had back in the 40s that these characters appeared in. And so they did that, and they reprinted all of those. See if I can find a good page here. Yeah. But the art's just fantastic. The story's fantastic. These ran from like 1999 through, I'm not sure, the mid 2000s. You've got guest appearances by the Spectre, who is actually a couple of different people over the course of this, because they keep changing who the Spectre is. Um, but the Spectre was an original member of that. And here's a page, Mr. Terrific, the new Mr. Terrific, Michael Holt. He's probably my favorite superhero. He doesn't have any superpowers except his brain. He's supposed to be the third smartest man on the planet, yet they never say who number one or number two is. So I would debate that he's not the smartest because uh, um, he has a suit that makes him invisible to all forms of technological things. So he's basically invisible everywhere he goes. And he can help do brain surgery. He knows all sorts of fighting styles. I mean, he just knows everything. And I just think that's really cool. That's him right here down in the second panel there. Mr. Terrific. The new Mr. Terrific is awesome. I like him. I love Dr. Midnight, the original and the new one. But this was a hefty volume. Volume 1, Volume 2. Also hefty. These are the biggest omnibus editions that I've ever seen, I think. Again, same, different, same people. Jeff Johns and David Goyer. Leonard Kirk and Don Kramer come on as the regular artists. And they just do a terrific job. You've got villains like the Icicle in there that are legacy villains. Just all sorts of great art in here. Loved it. They bring back heroes, and they famously brought back Hawkman. And I loved it because when they brought back Hawkman, they just kind of were like, we're bringing him back. Here he is. We're not going to explain it. There's been so many versions of Hawkman over the years. He's reincarnated. So he's reincarnated again, and we're just going to leave it at that. And I really liked that because they didn't try to explain away stuff and get all technical with it. But you've got Johnny Thunderbolt, or the new JJ Thunder, who has Johnny Thunderbolt's Thunderbolt, who's basically a genie. You've got a lot of Black Adam in here, and Atom Smasher, but just excellent. Power Girl comes into it. And then, as I continue shake these earth-shaking volumes of JSA, this one was the third and I hope not final one, because this was the end of Jeff Johns' run. And that was a heck of a run. I mean, most people don't stay on a book for that long. And I mean, there was a couple of issues that were filled in by other writers, but I mean, they'd have people like Jerry Ordway do it. And so, I mean, it was seamless. But there is still some issues after these. And I would like if they did a 4th edition of the Omnibus and got all those, because these stories are a lot of fun. Let's see if I can find just some random stuff here. But the art, again, is still fantastic. They maintain a high level of art throughout this entire series, and that's a big thing too, because they have all these covers by Alex Ross. That's the original. Well, that's Sand, I think, now, because he took on a outfit that was like the original Sandman. And but it just, they really just went out of their way to make this a superior comic book. If you like superheroes, then the JSA is the books for you. I highly recommend. You can still get these on Amazon, I think. They're a little, of course, being like omnibus editions, they're a little on the expensive side, but I really recommend them. I just had such a good time with these. Um, and I'm going to have more coming up, more Jeff Johns, more superheroes. I know that comics probably aren't as popular to talk about as regular books, but that's what I'm doing this year. Like I said, I'm lifting these weights, and just give it to me, because that's as close to lifting weights as I'm ever going to get. But it does feel like a workout after you've sat and read this for a couple hours. Your arms feel it, because these books are heavy. Each one is heavier than my dog, I think. But anyway, I will have more coming up of omnibus editions and some other random things, and I'll probably get some books in there too. Uh, I hope to do more videos than the last couple of months, which were zero. And I had a little bit more to say about these than I thought I did anyway. So thank you for being patient with me. And if you've watched this after so long, I really appreciate that. Uh, and thank you to anybody who's still subscribed to me. I really appreciate it. But like I said, life gets in the way sometimes. And I'm hoping that I can get back on, at least do one a month or a couple a month. Uh, I've got a couple other things I've been reading on too that I might do. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you sooner than later.